Hello, hello, and welcome back to episode 6. So I just watched my own episode 5 because I'm building a habit of watching my videos right as I release them in order to really test the waters of entering the Let's Play universe. I'm doing my best. So I guess I don't actually need to have the microphone that close to my face because it sounds like I'm talking out of some kind of a voice box or whatever they're called. But anyway, here we are, back at Planescape Torment. Now, as you may recall, we were just learning how to become a mage, and we are halfway there. So now, I'm done, I'm gone, and we're going this way. We're going right up here. And we're going to go talk to Xeshire, who you may recall does not say much. No, he doesn't. You will not mug me today, good sir. Goodbye.
Gone.
I'm actually, you know what, this is my first time doing this kind of stuff. I've dealt with some like stage fright problems and other stuff. So breaking out of my shell to really try this stuff, and I'm just pausing for a second. I'm gonna give a shameless shout out to two people on YouTube in particular, Aaron Hansen and Danny Avadan. Game Grumps, thank you so much for everything you do. You've been a huge inspiration to what I do. Also going to give a shout out, Markiplier, big inspiration of mine as well. And all these years later, finally just gonna do it. You know what? Heck with it. I'm gonna give it a shot. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, I tried. And now that I know how to get this audio working, I am definitely going to stretch across a couple other games as well. But I'm going to decide those later. For now, let's talk to Xeshire. Aye, Xeshire. I'm here to pick up someone's wash. Mebbeth, the midwife. Rag picker square. Streamings. Washcloth? Yes. Mebbeth, rag picker square. Rag picker? He taps his fingers as if counting something. I know! I remember! He holds up a trembling finger as if telling you to wait. Wait for him to fetch the watch. I'm picking up someone's laundry and I get experience. God, I love this game! He comes back with a flattened mass of green rags, thin as paper, yet so stiff they look like they could double as wooden boards. Sounds like he washed them a little too hard. The rags are so caked in a greenish lime starch that they look like it would take years of soaking to relax them. How many times did you clean these? Xeshire, washcloth, starch cloth, every 5th day. Washcloth, starch cloth, every 5th day. His eyes flicker. Xeshire washed many years, always starch cloth on 5th day. Xeshire's ritual. But they're ruined. Washcloth is Xeshire's ritual. His voice is flat, almost zombie-like. Must starch cloths every 5th day. What's the point of doing it every 5 days when I don't... Oh, never mind, just hand them over. Give cloth. He says they're heavy. It's like carrying an armload of bricks. I'll take them to Mebbeth now. Farewell. Off we go, up back to the rag picker square. So, how many of you have figured out what Mebbeth is having us do? Who attacked me? Die. If the Lady of Pain shows up asking what happened, I'm just gonna look her dead in the eye and be like, they started it. They did start it. I just happened to finish it. Do. I don't want to talk to anyone. I want to go up to the square.
Gone.
I'm gone indeed. Really happy to be playing this game. Hey, Mebbeth. Mebbeth seems lost in twisting the black-branched picture frame you made for her. She is squaring the edges and snapping off some of the barbed seeds on the branches. She suddenly notices you and sits down the frame. Aye, child? I brought your wash. I think Xeshire was a little heavy on the cleaning ritual, though. She takes the stacks of starched green rags from you and examines them critically. At least they won't tear. Or bend. What was with that cloth merchant Geescritty? His hands were all scarred and seemed slow. Well, child, sometimes one burns for the art, other times the art burns ye. Is that what happened to him? Mayhap. There's some who, for who using the art is like breathing. Sorry, I needed some water. They strolls about with pointy hats and stinkweed pipes, and then there's hedge wizards and plain-touch gypsies and fortune casters and half-seers and midwives who flicker with the art. Plain-touched. That's a word we're going to touch on later. Them have a harder time of it. And Geescritty is one of them. Mebbeth nods. Aye, so to speak. In some ways, he's no different now than he was. Addicted to habit and ritual, he was. Sets down the stiff rags. They clunk as she places them on the floor. Aye, now there's one last thing I need from you, child. This better not involve me going back to the market. Of course. What do you need? I am imagining that in, like, the most snarky, sarcastic tone, so I'm going to say that one more time. Of course. What do you need? Only this. I need some inks for scribbling some ingredients in one of me cookery books. I need you to fetch some from one of the merchants. Korsajai be her name. All right. I'm off. Farewell.
Updated my journal
All the way back to the marketplace. Just having us going back and forth and back and forth. But let me tell you, it's worth it. And had we done the thieving quest, it would have ended more or less the same way. Why can I not? But I'm here. Why can't I not? Oh, there we go. I have to click, like, off the screen. Weird. That way. And off we go. Goodbye for now, thugs who dare try to rob me. There's no limit to them, by the way. They come back every morning. Every in-game morning, rather. Do not screw with the Dabas. We're looking for Kosajai. Oh, how'd I know you were there? I'm just kidding. I know everything. But not really. The old woman gives you a gummy smile. Some fish, child! Fish heads! A cloying fish smell surrounds her. Mebbeth said you sell ink. She sent me to purchase some. Ink? Nice, sir. I sells no ink. I just sell fish. Are you sure? Mebbeth, the midwife in Ragpicker Square, mentioned you specifically. Oh, God. Heh! Well, Kosajai was Madame's name, and my granddame's name, so it could be any of us, yet they're both in the dead book, so only this Kosajai matters. No idea what she's on about. A midwife in the Picker Square, do you say? Don't know her, I don't. And you don't have any ink. Well, I can't say that's much of a surprise. I swear Mebbeth is having me run in circles. I could be really snarky about it. Well, then she said you would be able to help me, but me run in circles. Now hold on, your midwife friend's not all wrong. I know how you can get ink, but it may not be the ink you're looking for. The ink I'm thinking of bleeds from the gills of the... How do I say that? Of a Brogata fiend. I'm just gonna... Brogata. Brogota? It bleeds from fish, it does. From fish. Yes, from fish. Fish. It bleeds ink. Aye. Thing is, that fish is not for eating. It's got a horrible taste. Scalds the tongue. You could ask Miriam. She pitches her fish cell down the street the southerly way. She might have one of them fish you needs on her pull. I'll go seek her out. Farewell. Now, you may actually remember this woman. We spoke to her before. She gave us a couple of tips. And she offered us fish in the past. And we said no, but gave her some coppers for giving us friendly advice. So now we're back as customers. Have you heard of Bogota fin? Have you heard of this fin I'm looking for? I need ink from its gills. Aye, that fish is a strange one, it is. Not many have heard of it, lest want to eat it. Difficult to kill, and even in death, it still seems to live. Not many want to latch their teeth around something that still rives. Do you have one?
My journal.
Aye, but the ink, you'll need something to carry it in. Have a bowl or a cup, perchance? Or a tankard. Maybe one of the merchants is selling it. I know who to talk to because I didn't buy anything from her, and I didn't buy anything from her before, and I'm a terrible person. Hi, you. What are you selling right now? I need something to hold ink in. Do you have a tankard or goblet for sale? Actually, I'm looking for the cheapest one you have. This one looks like it was used on... She raises an eyebrow. She's a battered-looking tankard to you. It's covered in dents, and the handles looks like it is about to fall off. This one looks like it was used on someone's skull. She smells slightly. It'll do. Thanks. Farewell.
Updated my journal.
And now we go back down here to Miram. Bought a tankard. Can I get the ink from the fish in it? She nods and plucks a fish from her pole. It twitches as she grabs it. No. Then starts lashing about as she begins to twist it like a rag. I'm going to stop doing sound effects. I'm sorry. She wrings it until bluish-black Icarus begins to trickle from the fish's gills. When your tankard is almost full, she relaxes her grip and throws the twitching fish into a sack at her side. And then the bag came alive and it started flopping away into the merchant square, and someone went, "Oh my god, there's something in there, but it's dead." Thanks and farewell.
Updated my journal.
You know, as long as I'm on this side of town, there's something else I'm going to do real fast. I'm going to go. I have just enough commons, I believe, to venture a small side quest back into the smoldering corpse. Barkeep,
Right.
I believe you have something of mine that I would very much appreciate to have back. Hey, Barkus. Set it in my eye. I'd like it back now. 500? Alright. Here it is. Oh god. It's the deal. He produces a darkened, wax-stoppered, wide-mouthed bottle from his pocket. You hear the sound of liquid sloshing around inside of it, along with a heavier, squishier noise. Oh god, this game. Opening it, the stench of some sort of preservative agent nearly makes you gag. Floating in the viscid muck is an eyeball. You'd better figure out what you want to do with that. Now you've exposed it to the air. You might as well put a pickled egg in the jar for all the good it'll do you. Make up your mind, Cutter. Pickled egg or not? Yeah, sure. Tear out your eyeball and place this one in the socket. Ow! Oh god. Ooh. I think I might have just leveled up. With a moment's hesitation, you reach into your socket and pop your eye into the palm of your hand. The bartender helpfully severs the optic nerve and directs your hand to the jar of goo that sits on the bar. You deposit your eye into the preservative, wrap your fingers around the old one, and slide it into the empty socket. The pain of this entire operation is incredible. Ow! After a moment, though, you can feel the optic nerve reattaching itself to this new eye, and suddenly you are hit with the flash of a memory. Absorb it. Oh, good lord. Memory flash. A vast... So... there's an intro cutscene to this game that I always seem to miss when I'm recording. And trust me, I don't know how I could time it just to catch it. But the nameless one, when he remembers things, tend to, like, flash in his brain, and they literally just, like, whoosh, there it is, and whoosh, there it goes. So I'm going to try to read this as best as I can. As quickly as I can, as well. Memory flash, a vast expanse of chaotic, ever-changing wasteland stretching before you, a group of humanoid vultures plummeting toward you, cruel weapons ready to strike, and your own shining blade clutched tight in your fist. Another memory flash. 3 tufts around you, and the colors of an enemy you can't quite place. Lone daggers glisten in their hands, and the light glints cruelly from their exposed teeth. You glance in their scarred hands, and you know soon that they'll be covered in blood. Memory flash. An enormous frog-like creature comes bounding over, through, under, chaos stuff, headed for you with a mouth full of teeth. You hurl your javelin through the shifting matter and pin the creature to a sudden stone plinth. You've recalled some of your lost fighting skills. Show more. More question to Barkus? More water from my stomach? Oh boy. Proficiency points increased permanently. We will check that in a moment. Forget it. Farewell. I actually took some damage from that, but if we go to the statistics screen, you'll find that my strength, some of my intelligence, some things have gone up. Now, in this game, regardless of what class you want to be in the long run, you always start as a fighter. And because of that, your character will be heading up as in fighter skills. Now, had I done this as a mage, it actually would not have made any difference whatsoever. So now, let's go to our inventory, because I believe that would have changed as well. Oh no, it just says eyeball. So there you go. I have my eyeball back. And I apologize for any who are disgusted by gore and such. It is going to be a consistent theme. Trust me, that eyeball's not the only one. It is not the only one. We'll be going through. I'm amazed at the fact that I'm still true neutral at this point. Maybe I change later down the road. I'm only level 4, so we'll find out as we go. But now we've gotten my eyeball back, I gotten some memories back, got some EXP as a fighter, and did a little bit of work. But it doesn't seem like I'm ready to level up just quite yet. Someone wants to mug me? Too bad. Now, let's go to the map. Let's go back up here and get this crap back to Mebbeth, because, quite frankly, there we go. Quite frankly, I wanna be a mage! I wanna! I was a fighter last time, and being a fighter's cool and all, but stabbing things is only so much fun. And last time I had to really heavily rely on...
Endure. Or you grow strong.
Endure, and an enduring goes strong.
I hear your words.
So... Oh, interesting. I actually can't use any of his spells right now. Nameless one, Mort, you want to help him out? Ooh, can I use Mort's special skill? The Neve Curses! Oh, he's already dead. Looks like I will just have to show you something really nice that this game allows you to do down the road. In the meantime, there is something that really comes in handy with combat, and does the button work? Hey, good to know. Pardon that little flash. I was testing something that, at this moment, I didn't take advantage of nearly as often as I probably should have. But our goal for this episode is to finally become a mage. We got the eyeball back, and then we're going to probably rest our characters. Mebbeth is tugging at the mass of the greenish lime-starched rags you brought from Geesecritty. She seems to be purposely fraying the edges as if to peel them apart. When she hears your approach, she turns. Hi, child. Here's the ink you wanted. And another 1,000 experience for me. Mebbeth takes the tankard of ink from you, then sniffs it. Prime ink. Fresh it is. Aye. She nods at you. You done well, child. All I've asked. And I ask ye again. After all you've seen, do you still want to learn the art? Yes, after all, the guiding goal of your errands was to test my persistence, was it not? That's, yes, mayhap, child, mayhap. And that's not all. You knew who I had to see to accomplish each errand, didn't you? It's slower this time. Mayhap, child, mayhap. If and so, what did your senses tell you about them? So, remember how I said I would tell you guys the whole point of this quest? Some of you have probably figured this out along the way. Oop, I did not mean to dial down my volume. My headset is very close to my arm, so sometimes I accidentally press the button. There we go. So, as some of you may have figured out, the whole quest, there is no teaching. I learned how to perform magic by doing the very things that she asked me to do. She tested how badly I wanted to learn magic. And these are the results of my hard work. Points for Trees showed me that my beliefs, I brought those up before, my beliefs affect the world around me. Peascurdy taught me that the ritual is a wasted effort if the purpose of the ritual is ignored. Miriam taught me that no matter how much I think I know, there is much I can learn from another's eyes. I'm going to take a moment and just say that this actually is the reason I wanted to be a mage this time around. Not just because being a spellcaster is legitimately fun in this game, but I love the mentality that the mages have, like Dakon, where you really have to be not just willing to learn and intelligent enough to understand and wise enough and experienced to know what could, can, and will happen, but you also have to genuinely be willing to accept the fact that you never stop learning. It doesn't matter if you're old. It doesn't matter if you're young. It doesn't matter if you've lived your life across the world. It doesn't matter if you've lived your life in the same four walls for years on end, reading books after books. It doesn't matter how you learn or what you learn. Just something that's always been in my mentality or something that's been in my mentality for many years now. You can never stop learning. Mebbeth is silent for a moment. Then she walks slowly over to you and touches you on the cheek. Oh, child, she sighs. You will be a master sorcerer one day, you will. You have the knowing of it, yea. But yet, you've come to Old Mebbeth for help, you have. What could a midwife teach such a one? Much, Mebbeth. I want to learn all you have to teach. 2,000 more experience. Unusable item placed in your backpack. It won't be unusable for long. So you'll walk the path then. Mebbeth pauses. Well, first things first. First things firstly. Just having the knack for the art isn't enough. You need some means of giving it focus. Usually spells. The spells are usually in a book, so the art demands you have a spell book, or it's like afore you can cast spells. Can you read? Yes. Then let's test it. Can you read this? Mebbeth draws forth a small tattered card. It looks like a recipe. Examine the recipe. The writing on the recipe swims before your eyes, each symbol twisting out of focus whenever you try and read it. Almost instinctively, you relax your eyes, allowing them to take in the page all at once, and the symbols suddenly bleed together. The recipe lists measurements, ingredients. It appears to be some minor divination. This is a minor divination, isn't it? It looks like it's a spell that allows the user to see the nature of an item, to see whether it's enchanted or not. Mebbeth's eyes widen. Who are ye to test old Mebbeth so? Are you some fiend? No, well, not to my knowledge. What's wrong?
Updated my journal.
Well, not expecting it, was I? She nods at the recipe, then plucks it out of your hand. What you see is written in the language of the art. If ye not a mageling yet, it should be a swirl, a jumble, a mishmash. She snaps her finger. Yet clear as crystal. You pluck the sense of it right up. Happy you tell old Mebbeth why it is? I don't really know. I think I may have known the symbols once, but forgot. Seeing the symbols just jarred up my memory. Or else a natural gift you may have. No matter, no matter. You've just shaved seasons off your learning, you have. And I'd like been looking for someone to handle the chores around here, I had. Maybe it's just, if you need help with anything around here, you can still ask. It's the least I can do in exchange for you teaching me. No, don't worry yourself about that. She frowns. Well, you can read spells well enough, but spells are no good to you without a book to put them in. Do you have one? Glances around the hut, and then she catches sight of a black barbed picture frame you made. Picks it up and studies it. This'll do. This thing? It's just a frame. Ah, but so are ye, child. I love Mebbeth's character. Oh, I'm so happy to be doing this quest so soon. Last time I did this, just moments before entering the main storyline that carried me through the longest part of the game. So the fact that I'm doing this now really does just make me so happy. Because I distinctly remember, as I mentioned before, I played this as a fighter. And so when I got to some of these things that required my intelligence and wisdom, I had no idea what to do. The Nameless One couldn't read it, couldn't do anything about it, and so I had to go out, fight a bunch of goons, level up, and just grind and grind and grind until I could do it. Oh, this is so satisfying. So holding the frame, she picks up one of the starched rags you got from Geesery. With a yank, she pulls off some of the greenish starched surface film. It flutters in the air like a wispy bit of cloth. Whatever Geesery uses in the wash, it works better than curling and stretching and stoning does on a normal rag. Can't afford parchment, I can't. Parchment? He takes the starchy film and puts it over the black barb frame, latching the rag's edges onto the hooks around the frame until it looks like a small greenish black painter's canvas. It's missing something. Well, it needs something painted on it. Aye, or written on it. She takes the tankard of ink you've given her and sets it down next to her. She dips one of her fingernails into the tankard, then draws it out, mumbling to herself. She begins to scratch symbols onto the frame, one by one, still mumbling to herself. All's done. Mebbeth stands, drying her ink-stained fingernail on her robe. She tilts her head, regarding the strange framed picture page in front of her. A page for your spellbook it is. Indicates that you should pick it up. Inside your spellbook are your recipes, your spells, if you will. As long as they sit in the book, though, they're just words. I am so sorry. Oh, God. The art demands you pluck the magic out of the book and put them in your attic, your head, before you can tap their power. Go on. You put them in your attic by studying them, memorizing them. You usually need to rest before you can do this, though. Any questions? So, translation. You don't just get a spell book and then cast a spell from that spell book. If you actually want to cast a spell, you need to put it into your spell slots. And each spell slot, true to actual Dungeons and Dragons, with certain spells, you can only use a spell once per slot. So let's say you want to cast Magic Missile, which is a pretty common beginner spell. Usually, some people try to get that, I believe, as a cantrip, which means it's a spell that the character has naturally memorized and can cast over and over and over, no problem. But then you get certain spells, like the one I just learned called Identify, which allows you to, if a dungeon master hands you an object that says it contains a mysterious aura, I pause just for a minute because I'm sure anyone who's seen this, who's watching this, and has played D&D, every time they hear the object carries a mysterious aura, in the back of their minds they're going, oh boy, this again. Alright, let's do it. A spell like Identify, which you use to take that mysterious object and all of a sudden, it's an axe with a fire enchantment on it so that it burns any enemy it hits. You wouldn't have known that had you not identified it. But a spell like Identify requires a slot to be used, and you only have so many of these slots at once. So, when you cast Identify, if you let's say you have identify in 3 of your slots, and you identify 3 items in a run. Now you cannot cast identify again until you have rested, which is what we'll be getting to in just a moment. I think I understand the basics. Farewell. Afore you go, child, you need some magics for you to whet your appetite. Mebbeth rummages through her robe, then pulls forth 3 small recipes, which she passes to you. You should copy these into your book, so then you can, so they can, they. I need to learn the English language so they can go to your attic as soon as possible.
Updated my
Mebbeth.
journal.
5,000 experience. Wait, there's more. Mebbeth fishes a tiny bundle of black cloth from her apron and unrolls it, and produces a pair of amber earrings. These will protect you on your travels, child. I no longer wear them myself, so go ahead and take them. Thanks again. All right, child, don't tarry here any longer. One such as ye has other ways to spend one's time rather than hanging around Old Mebbeth. Now, come on, Mebbeth, you're not old. You flatterer. Your tongue is so lined with silver, it'd shame a Batazu. Now, get your hands. Thanks for everything, Mebbeth. We'll get over what a Batazu is later. You can thank me by not playing the Addlecove with what you learned. The art's damned many a fool who sought to bend it in ways the art weren't meant to bend. Now get along with you. Translation. With great power comes great responsibility. Oh, I'm probably going to get in a lot of trouble with Marvel for saying that, but oh, whatever, everyone quotes it, so screw it. Farewell.
I feel stronger.
I feel stronger. I have leveled up as a mage. I am now level 2. Oh, level 3. Excellent. Now, some of you are probably wondering why I'm not getting the ability to put a point into any of my stats, even though I leveled up. Unlike before, where as a fighter I reached level 4 and was able to level up and put a stat in, my mage level is level 3. My highest level is still as a fighter, so technically I am still level 4. Even if as a mage I level up 1, 2, 3, until my mage level is 5, I am not going to get any more stat points. And that's okay. That's going to change. Now, really fast, we are going to copy the spell Chromatic Orb and learn it. We're going to copy the spell Blood Bridge and learn it. And we are going to copy the spell Identify and learn it. And the Amber Earrings, which is very useful. So my stats have gone up. My AC is 8. Wow, that was fast. And you'll now notice that I can't carry the Crescent Hatchet anymore. So now I'm back to carrying a scalpel just because at this moment, it's better than a rusty dagger. It actually is better than a rusty dagger. Now I can also make my way. Ooh, I'm going to stack those as long as I'm here. I can make my way to a store to possibly get some better equipment, but that's going to be farther down the road. I have one last task that I wish to perform right now, and this is something I can do with my Dakon as well. For now, Chromatic Orb, and there's Blood Bridge. So I can only cast up to level 2 spells, and you see those slots that I mentioned earlier. So a spell like Blood Bridge, let's see, a bizarre compact of the healer's heart and the merchant's mind. This necromantic spell transforms your very body into a marketplace that barters life and death. Your life essence can be given to others at a cost to yourself. Oh, so what this does is it makes me take my health and put it into someone else. I don't want that. Now, Identify is a spell that I want in there a couple times. Chromatic Orb. Long are the debates about the spectrum of color in the multiverse. This blue is better than yellow. Pike it back. Of course, white is the true color. And while in the end, many generally agree that a color's greatness is in the eye of the beholder. This spell establishes the fact that some colors are deadlier than others. This summons a large magical orb of color, which can be hurled at a target using the caster's normal attack roll plus 3. Attack roll is in the dice that you would roll for how much damage you do, meaning I have a chance at doing the amount of damage that I've been doing this whole time plus 3. So this is actually stronger than me just swinging my scalpel around. The color of the orb changes depending on the caster's level. Level 1, white, damages 1 to 4 points. Level 2, red, 1 to 6 points. Level 3, orange, 1 to 8 points. Level 4, yellow, 1 to 10 points. 1 to 12, 2 to 8, and it just keeps going through colors until finally we get to black, where it could cause anywhere from 4 to 40. Right now, we are about level 3, so this is going to be an orange spell. Or is that based on my AC? Interesting. So I'm going to put that in there twice as well. And you'll notice that they are faded. So just because I learned it does not mean I can cast it. Well, what the heck? Why can't I cast it? Why am I unable to do the thing that I just learned how to do? You know, as long as I'm at it, tack on. You got your spells going? Power of 1? Alright, cool. We'll work on that later. Select all. And
Done.
I'm sure this is going to be a distant memory to some of y'all by this point.
Done.
You may recall a man by the name of Angier. Oh god, the Davises. They are everywhere, and I'm going to get out of here before I accidentally hit one. Yow. Where is the way out? I want the way... Oh, I went right past it. Oops. There we go.
I'm going.
Ah, who remembers what this part of the hive looked like? Am I right? Let's go to Angier's house. And you may recall that what we did with Angier was help him with a contract, and in exchange, we got ourselves a place to rest.
Done.
Hello, my good buddy Angier. I've made a friend. Just wanted to see how you were doing. I had some questions. Do you mind if I rest here? Thank you. And nearing the ending of this episode, we are finally a mage, everybody! We can cast spells and identify objects. We slept for 16 hours. Holy crap. And more importantly, now we can cast magic. Yay! Alright, so now, let us go with the good old-fashioned silly save. I'm going to call it that now. Recording. I cannot type. Good lord, I can't talk, I can't type. What's going on with me? 6. Yay! Oh, wait, I can't put that in there. Yeah, I'm... No, that's stupid. Blah, blah, blah. Although, isn't that kind of the point? Yeah, okay, cool. Yay! I am... Magic Man! Magic Man! Alright, thank you everybody for joining us on this episode. I hope you have a wonderful day.